Hey guys, Chad back with yet another YouTube video and yet another pack rip, box rip, seems like a case rip. It's searching for the Bobby Orr cards in the 1991 Score hockey set. Today I've got two boxes of the, as I told you in the last video, there's three different sets. These are actually the Canadian version, but the English version of the Canadians. They actually have the quotations on the back in English. So this is separate from the bilingual edition and all that stuff, and I'll tell you more about that as we go along. Series 2, I'm not sure how many cards we're gonna find. We haven't had really good track record yet, but we got two more boxes, and yet we have more boxes in the back as well. So we're going to keep doing these until we try to find something. Of course, I know I could probably go out and get the card for about $3 to $5 a piece, the unsigned one. Even the autographed one, I think I did see one for like $50 on eBay, but I'm not going to spend a ton of time going through the players, although this will definitely have some different players than the set we looked at the last video. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time. Yarmir Jagr, every now and then I'll point out somebody. But basically we are looking for the Bobby Orr insert cards. And at this point I would be really happy with even a regular card. Doesn't have to be autographed. I'm not going to get greedy, but would love to pull that. So we seem to be able to do these boxes pretty quickly because we're just basically chatting. Oh, I see black border. Could it be? Could it be? It's a Bobby Orr scoring leader card. We finally pulled one. This is what it looks like, guys. Scoring leader Bobby Orr. Very, very nice. They're not numbered. Has a little blurb there about Bobby on the back, talking about Gretzky and Gordie Howe and so forth. Well, that's really neat looking. And like I said, you can probably touch some of these for about $3 to $5, but it's really cool when you can pull your own. So I can't even tell you how happy I am to find the first one. So let's just put that on the side and we'll keep rolling. I don't know, since we hit it that quick, if we could possibly get another one, but I am not going to complain. Let's keep going, and maybe they were really happy about getting rid of their Bobbies and there might be a couple more in here. Who knows? It's again, just in case you missed the last video, I'll chat a little bit as I'm opening about these score cards, and it was similar to the baseball cards, as I mentioned in the last video. They basically were right at the height. This is 1991, of the junk wax era, and you know, hockey didn't seem to be any different than baseball. So there was just a ton of these cards out there, and basically the only two ways you could get one of these cards was to either send away into a sweepstake for all four cards, actually. So it was pretty cool. If you won the sweepstakes, you actually got all four cards, but the chances were pretty crazy. So people started ripping these, and you know, back in the day, these were a couple dollars a pack. So these boxes were about 50 to 70 bucks when they first came out. So that was a lot of money. They dropped just like, you know, the baseball cards did too. So in price. So just saying, it's a shame, you know, that the market kind of fell out with cards in general, but you got to kind of blame the companies for putting out so much of it, and nowadays, as we know, they still put out quite a bit. definitely are more limited than back in the day, because this was kind of new territory for everybody. So, so basically, that's how your two opportunities were: either pull one out of a pack or send away and get in the sweepstakes. So that's really how it was done. So anyway, very interesting. Basically, from what I understand, and this is going to sound like a big number. I didn't say this in the last video, but there were 1,238 autograph cards, but we're a little confused on that, because that was the stat that came out, because I've seen the actual autographed versions of the cards, and on the back it says out of 2,500. So I don't know if you believe what Score is telling you. They want you to think that there's 2,500 Bobby Orr autographs out there. I don't know. I got this off of Trading Card Database. They said there was 1,238 autographed cards, but maybe that was, in the American and the Canadian sets. Maybe they divvied them up, which makes sense. If there was 2,500 autographed cards, maybe they, basically split, half for the US versions and half for the Canadian versions. But again, the Canadian versions, there was two different sets, and both versions had, oh, that's an interesting card. Both the Canadian versions had Series 1 and Series 2, unlike the US version, which just had one series. And there's 660 cards in these. So I will eventually be opening Series 1 of this English versions, as well as the bilingual version. I do have boxes of those too. So again, getting harder to find, but they're out there, and usually when you find somebody, they want to get rid of them. So you can actually pick up a box of these for $2, $3, $4, $5. I've seen them on eBay up to like $10 free shipping, that type of thing, even $12, $15 free shipping. But it's going to cost the person like $8 to put it in a priority flat envelope. So they're not making a heck of a whole lot if they're offering free shipping on these things. So anyway, that's that. But again, the unautographed cards, I did find this stat rather staggering, which is like the card we just pulled earlier. They say there is 270,000 of those cards. So again, no wonder the value is not like really up there. But that must be, again, split between, I don't know, both American and Canada. I don't know. It's very interesting numbers, and you don't really know who to believe at this point. But there is no doubt when we saw that black border, it was almost like a Donruss Elite card in baseball. I mean, you just see the border and you just knew, oops, I got it. So that was pretty cool. And from the looks of things, it doesn't look like there's another one. We're almost getting down here on the first box. They said basically in about 1 in every 260 packs, you could find a unautographed card. That's a lot of packs. 36 per box. imagine, since a case holds 20 boxes of these, I would venture to think there would be like 3 or 4 at least unautographed cards per case. So I guess again, the numbers wise, we'd be looking at like every 4 to 5 boxes you open, you would find the Bobby cards. Again, I'm not sure how I feel about all that, but I don't really feel like they kept the stats back then like they are really tracked today. You know, with especially all the one-of-one cards that are out there in, you know, all the sports cards, basketball, football, baseball, and even hockey, there are one-of-one cards. So I did get an email from one of the subscribers and asked me, when are you going to stop ripping these? And honestly, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's definitely a lot of cards to sort out. And as I mentioned earlier, it kind of is fun, but at the same time, it's a lot of work. I know John Jabs from The Past is Alive was going through 90 Topps looking for the no name on front Frank Thomas cards, and he mentioned how many he had now, and he was going to put together some sets, and realize how long it takes to actually sort out cards like that, and it is quite a lot of work. So we're done with one box. We'll get ripping here, and again, apologize for not spending time going through each and every card in the set, but at this point it's just a matter of looking for the Bobby cards, and we're getting quite a stack of wrappers too, and these wrappers are no exception from like the baseball wrappers with score. They're the plastic, and they're a little bit tough sometimes the older they get to rip open. Even if the cards were put in a real secure, dry place, which it does appear that these were kept really well. I don't usually have a stick factor with these. In other words, they don't stick together. Excuse me, as a rule of thumb, but they, the wrappers do kind of seem to dry out. The plastic just does not age really great. You'd think it would be a lot easier to open them, but anyway, as we tear through the second box, don't know how close together they would put the Bobby cards, and I don't even know if these were out of the same case or not, so there is no telling. I did buy these from one dealer. I got a bulk deal. I actually paid for 10 boxes from different series, American, Canadian, English, and bilingual. I got a little of everything. However, he actually gave me 11 boxes. I guess he found another one and said, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm just going to give it to Chad for, let him go search for Bobby cards. So kind of happy we found at least one. And the minute you feather through these cards, I immediately saw that Bobby card when you go to feather the cards like this, I mean, you can see all blue. I mean, you can pretty much actually know there's not one in there, although we are kind of being thorough just so we don't miss doing that. Because that would be the time that it was sticking to another card or something. And I apologize also, my hands are a little bit tight tonight. A little arthritis kicking up, so I'm not as quick on the ripping as maybe I was earlier today. Or in the last video, as the case may be. Wow. And I don't know, this box just seems to really be giving me a hard time now. So another interesting stat off from this we got off of Trading Card Database was basically it's saying that no less than one auto per 55,000 packs. It's a lot of packs, guys. I mean, if you were into Bobby and you went through these originally to find those cards, I remember actually back in the day seeing them. They used to be about a $15 to $20 card, maybe even a little bit more, like 25. But as I said, simply because of time and the price of the sets dropping down, anytime you get a chase card in a series of cards, like Donruss Elite, I mean, a lot of times the base set is, you know, gone way downhill. It's just not worth anything because basically people are just ripping packs to find the chase cards. And that's kind of what happens even in today's market. Oh, uh-oh, here we go, guys. Another Bobby Orr card. Stanley Cup Hero card. That is freaking snappy. There's the back of it. And again, a little blurb on the back. That is really, really cool. I'll put this up here for now. We'll, kind of excited. That's really amazing. I didn't really think out of back-to-back boxes we would get anything like that. So it just goes to show you really can't tell correlation. But anyway, the Junk Wax era cards, I mean, and even today's cards, I think, you know, your base sets of cards just aren't worth anything anymore because everybody's ripping the packs to get the good cards, and it's such a bummer because, I mean, you know, they should just sell the relic cards or the autograph cards. Doesn't seem like people really even enjoy going through cards anymore, and the fun of the rip. I mean, that was the whole fun when we were kids, is just going through and seeing what you get, and even now it's still fun just to zoom through these and see who's in here. And that was a pretty good rush. So I cannot believe this video is, you know, 2 for 2. Again, don't know if there would be a third. I guess that might be getting a little greedy. Card in there, or even an autograph card might have slipped through. Who knows? I mean, so that's why you go through the packs and just see what's in there. But again, I probably will get to the point where eventually I'm going to sort these all out into sets and actually put them on eBay, or if any of you guys are interested, as I've said in past videos, please get in touch with me, email, comment, and I will always give my subscribers a deal on anything I have listed, or if there are anything that you're looking for, let me know. It's always, I enjoy the chase, helping people get what they like. Well, some good names in here again. Different from, again, the last video was American. Again, this is Series 2 of the Canadian version, actually English version of the Canadian cards. There's 660 cards in the set. I'm not exactly sure, I haven't looked at the numbers yet, but I would assume that Series 1 had 1 through whatever, and this series has wherever they stopped in the first series and continued on, but I'm not 100% sure that is the case. But I am seeing lots of repeat cards, so if I want to put these sets together, I will definitely have to get a few Series 1 boxes to match up with these Series 2, so I can make myself some sets. And as I mentioned in my last video, I'll be passing these on to some through the mail people. Last pack, guys, out of the 2 1991 score Series 2 hockey English version of the Canadian cards, and we are done. But here we go. I want to give you one quick recap. Out of the 2 boxes, this is the first one we pulled, the Bobby Orr scoring leader card, and number 2, the Stanley Cup Hero card. Really cool. They're definitely going to be put in one-touches and put into the PC. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is pretty exciting since we've struck out the first 2 videos, and the third video we go 2 for 2. So stay tuned, because we're going to rip some more of these. I got plenty more to do, and it's going to be fun. So like, subscribe, so you can get notifications when these come on, and I hope you enjoyed, and please comment. Love to hear from you. Thanks so much. Have a great evening, guys, and God bless.